Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua. It's usually a good time when I talk about anything less than $30 or around a $30 price mark. I know budgets are getting tighter by the day. A lot of us cannot afford the newly launched fragrances, let alone, designer and niche fragrances. So I'm here as usual with my Middle Eastern recommendation. But in this case, I'm giving you something that if you are even on a very tight budget, you might still be able to get yourself something decent. And I mean decent in a very good way. Something that is going to show up, that is going to smell amazing, is going to perform for you, but the price point is going to be within something you can, afford. Affordability is relative, but these are fragrances that are $35 and below for the most part in most, jurisdiction. And the first is a fragrance that is fairly new. Normally, if you want to stay within budget, I would advise you stay away from newly launched fragrances, Middle Eastern fragrances. They are fairly around the $45, $50 price point when they are newly launched. But in the case of Opulent Dubai from Lattafa, it is different. Although quite new, it came out at a very reasonable price, in my opinion. It's the same God of Fire DNA you're getting from this one. It is nothing new, but it's still a very beautiful, tangy, citrusy take on the mango with the woods and the musk. It's a very beautiful fragrance. It's quite woody. You're getting the mango, a very woody, musky, and ripe mango. It doesn't come across as a very mouth-watering, juicy, ripe mango to me. It feels like a green mango with some sweetness. And this is a very beautiful scent. It came out at a very affordable price point. For the most part, you're getting this around the $28 to $35 price point, depending on when you're getting it from. So this is going to be my first recommendation, Opulent to buy from Lattafa. A new, fairly new one, but a good price point. It's a good tropical scent. If you want your everyday tropical but also in a very polished way, you might want to go with this option. Another one I would recommend is from Maison Alhambra. I normally recommend a lot of Maison Alhambra fragrances because of their prices and also their longevity. They are not the greatest, but they are a lot better than a lot of the other cheaper alternatives out there. I know we have a lot of these Coco Mademoiselle, dupes. And a very popular one is from the Club in Amaf line. But I feel in as much as it's quite old on the market, in some parts, especially around places like Ghana, it's still very expensive. So I'll recommend something from Maison Alhambra known as Como Moiselle. And this is a very beautiful interpretation of the scent profile there. Patchouli, fruity, orangey, feel of Coco Mademoiselle. It's the same DNA, the same take. But this one feels like a little more fruity, a little more playful, a little less serious than the original one. It's a very beautiful composition. It's going to remind you 95% of the original Coco Mademoiselle, the EDP. Performance is amazing. Longevity is not bad at all. People are going to smell you. It is heavily complemented. I love the scent profile of this one. A very classic, clean, fruity, clean patchouli sort of feel. And yeah, it's a very affordable alternative to some of the other ones on the market. And I will recommend that you check this one out. On a very tight budget, you don't need to stress yourself and go for something else. There is this fragrance that I see a lot of people say, oh, it's too old, it's too overdone. A lot of people don't really give it flowers. But I think Berry's Weekend from Fragrance World is one that you can always be assured that you're getting. It's never out of style, it's never out of stock. This is a very beautiful scent, Berries Weekend from Fragrance World. Your fruits, your berries, and the vanilla and the sugar and the musk. It's a delicious, girly, fun fragrance. I've seen quite a few people saying who wears Berries Weekend, in 2025 or 2024. I still do. I still do wear Berries Weekend. It's a very beautiful, effortlessly chic, fragrance. That is how I would describe it. Nothing super special. Your generic fruity vanilla, berries and musky. It's delightful. It is fun. It is affordable. I would always recommend that you check this one, out. So no matter how old or how people speak about it, I still would highly recommend that you check out Berry's Weekend. Nasheet is a fragrance I don't normally talk about, especially lately, but I think it's a very beautiful alternative to a more expensive one like Spectral Ghost from Effie Paris. Of course, there is a quality difference, here and there. Although this is a very beautiful fragrance, I would highly recommend you to check out Nasheet. It was one of the earliest interpretations of Nishanik's Annie, and a lot of us jumped on it. After that, there's been several others, more specifically Spectral Ghost from Effie Paris. But I feel that is on the higher side of things. If you're looking for a beautiful identical feel to the Spectral Ghost and Nishani, and you might want to go with Nasheet. It's much more affordable. Performance is amazing. It used to be a poor performer, but after going through aging and maturing, I can say performance is now a lot better, although not at par with Spectral Ghost. If you have the money, go for Spectral Ghost. But if you're on a very tight budget, do not hesitate picking this one up. You are getting your vanilla, your ginger, your spices, your the green vanilla feel. You're getting everything that you are supposed to get from the original Nishanix, Annie. But it doesn't have the note of vanilla, but you're still getting the vanilla at the opening, the middle, the dry down. You're getting almost a very identical feel to the original one. So why not? I mean, not even if you are not on a budget, but you want something on the go that is going to give you compliment that smells amazing. Nasheet is one that I would highly recommend. Another Alhambra on this list is Athena, a very affordable alternative to Burberry Goddess. If you can't buy Angam from Lattafa, which till this day is around the $40 price point in a lot of places, you might want to go with Athena. Athena is a very beautiful alternative. The lavender, the florals, it has a little bit of more florals, but the dry down is very identical. You're not missing much, from the original Baby Goddess and Angam. If you have this one, you're not missing much. You don't need both, in my opinion. It's a great alternative, a very beautiful, airy, light vanilla with the lavender and the other, florals and, cacao-ish feel, spices, a very warm, delicious, but not your foodie vanilla. You might want to go this way. And this is Alhambra's Athena. From Lattafa, I would say go for Qaaed Royal Blends or Qaaed Al Arabia. This is beautiful. This is quite unisex and woody. It reminds me of a cooked apple. Sometimes apple come across as the apple juice or the drink or baked apple. This one doesn't come across as baked to me. It rather comes across as cooked, syrupy apples with some spices and a ton of woods. It is quite woody, especially after going through aging. It's very unisex in my opinion with the sweetness, but what you're getting for the most part is the apple or the cooked apple. That is what, it's like cooked and made into a thick syrupy sort of thing. That is how it reminds me. You're not getting anything like the baked or drink or it's more of a cooked, delicious, beautiful, woody, very woody at the base. This is a very beautiful alternative. It's been around for a very long time and the prices have significantly dropped. You're getting it around the 25, even elsewhere you're getting it for around $17, elsewhere, depending on where you're getting it from. But Qaaed Royal Blends is a very beautiful alternative. You don't want to overlook this one with the price. You're getting a very premium smelling scent. It's a compliment magnet. It smells quite unique. It's not your everyday fruity, fun one. It gives me more of a polished, sophisticated vibe. So you might want to look at this option, Qaaed Royal Blends from Lattafa. If you want Kia Leaves Vanilla 28, which I think a lot of people enjoy and absolutely love, why not go the Elysia Vanilla way, with Fragrance World? You are not going to miss anything from the original one. The same warm, ambery, vanilla, spicy, brown sugar feel. That is exactly what you are getting from this one. I know there are other ones on the market with similar scent profile, but this is a good all-round, price points, longevity, projection, well done scent. You might want to explore this option, Elysia Vanilla. It's one of the cheapest on the market, especially here in Ghana. It's one of the cheapest fragrances you can find, but a very beautiful composition. It gives you the same warmth, the same delicious vanilla, the same almost fruity, gourmandy, brown sugar, slightly boozy feel. You're getting everything that you might originally anticipate from the original one. As I say, you're not missing much. You can simply blind buy this one. It is very inoffensive, very girly, very fun, very flirty. It feels flirty and womanly and young, but not juvenile in any way. So Elysia Vanilla is one I would highly recommend. If you want to pick something blindly, that is an alternative to explore. And then Shamoki from Fragrance World, or I always, where is this one from? Shamoki. Is it Fragrance World or Lattafa? I need to find out, But Shamoki is a very beautiful scent. It's being marketed as an alternative to pink sugar. It's there, but not necessarily the same thing. I think this is a more woody, even masculine leaning, in my opinion. It seems slightly more masculine leaning because of the woods. It has a lot of woods, especially when you let it sit for a while. It still maintains that cotton candy-ish feel of the original pink sugar, but it doesn't have the berries that pink sugar has. Pink sugar is about this beautiful yet synthetic raspberry and strawberries. I don't get anything berryish in this shamoki. However, it maintains that sweet cotton candy feel of pink sugar with tons of woods. This one is much more woody. I get a woody, heavy feel, and then the cotton candy aspect, and making it a more unisex, fragrance. Whereas pink sugar will be considered more feminine. So this is Shamoki. It matures beautifully from the opening or the beginning. Is beautiful, but when you let it sit, it gets a bit more woody, a bit more stronger, a bit more loud, and then there's also a slight soapy touch at the base. There's something quite soapy and fresh. There's something quite fresh and soapy at the dry down, and it's a very beautiful, simple compliment magnet. And this is Shamoki. Another fruity one I would also highly recommend, a very tight, budget friendly one, extremely unique from Fragrance World. This is so delightful. This is so pretty. This is so delightful. A burst of freshness, the pineapple. You're getting pineapple for the most part. A very beautiful, delicious, ripe pineapple scent and some other woods and I think it has some black currant too. It is very fruity, a burst of fruit, a tropical feel, a little woody, a little musky. But what you're getting for the most part is that dominant note of pineapple, and it feels so mouth watering and juicy and a bit tart and a bit fun. Not a bit, a lot fun. It's a carefree, just happy-go-lucky sort of scent, but more specifically, you're getting a very beautiful, juicy, mouth-watering pineapple scent, and that is extremely unique from Fragrance World. I know a lot of us have heard about Angel Share. There was this craze about Angel Share. It's still one of the most celebrated, niche fragrances, and so is Kismet Angel from Maison Alhambra. This is a very beautiful alternative to the original one at not even a fraction, a drop of the fraction of the original price. This is a good alternative if you've ever wanted, and want to smell like a boss babe, strong and in charge and confident smelling. You might want to go this way. This is not a child's play fragrance. It's very out there. It is bold. The apple pie, the cinnamon, the vanilla, the booze, very boozy and strong and rich smelling. It is quite loud. Even at this point, when I do too much of this one, it gives me a headache. It's matured for over 2 years, but it gives me a headache if I overdo this one. It's beautiful on its own. You can layer it with several other fragrances. It wears beautifully, a strong, intoxicating, that festive feel. It's never going out of style. So if you want something at this point at a cost effective yet also confident smelling, intoxicating, rich, and sexy, and somehow, do I add just sexy in a way. You might want to go with, Kismet Angel from Alhambra. And I think the last fragrance I want to share here, it's an all-time favorite, one of the best I've come across till this day. Qaaed, from Lattafa. It's an old fragrance that is never going out of style. If you've ever wondered how it smells like, it's vanilla. It is spice, some cinnamon and cardamom. Very spicy vanilla with I don't know if it's tobacco, but there's something quite dense and tobacco-ish about it. I might be wrong. It might not be tobacco, but it's a very beautiful, loud fragrance. The vanilla is intense. It is strong. It is bold. It is like, smell me before you see me. If you want something that is like going to announce you before you get there, Qaaed is one of those fragrances that is going to do it for you. It's a very unisex fragrance. I will not say it's masculine leaning, although people say it's masculine leaning. I think it's a very unisex fragrance. If you want your heavy vanillas and your spices and a bit of fruit on top of it, you might want to go this way. This is so confident and bold smelling. It is loud but not obnoxious or polarizing in any way. It's one of those fragrances you wouldn't want to do too much, you can't even do too much in Qaaed. If you overspray this one, you are choking yourself out, others around you, gone. It's a very beautiful, bold vanilla scent with the intoxicating spices. It's so loud, yet also beautiful and intoxicating at the same time. So these are very affordable alternatives. I'm not going to consider any of them superior over the other. I think they are all excellent, superior smelling fragrances at a cost that a lot of us can go for. So if you're on the budget and a very tight one as such, these are some of the alternatives I would recommend. And that to me is going to be a wrap for today. And I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.